We're not going to rehash all the details here.
Let me get your first and last name, please.
Melissa Rodriguez, Deputy District Attorney.
Can you spell the last name, please?
Rodriguez.
And Melissa, M-E-L-I-S-S-A?
That's correct.
What happened here today?
Well, today is basically the arraignment, and what happens at the arraignment is she has pled not guilty to the 41 counts that we have filed, and we also set it for a future date. On that future date, a bail OR motion will be heard. That's referred to our probation department for them to review to determine if her bail should be lowered or if she would be released OR. The district attorney's position is basically that bail is adequate as set and she should remain in custody.
Bail is what?
Bail is currently set at $750,000.
What are the charges?
The charges in this case are, the first 30 counts are basically sex with a minor or an underage person, and then the other remaining counts are oral copulation with a person under the age of 18. There are 3 named victims in this case.
Can you tell us about the protective order for...
There could be more victims? Or
This is an ongoing investigation.
Can you talk about the protective order you discussed in court?
Straight ahead.
Yes. In cases like this, it is very common for us to ask for a criminal protective order. What that does is prohibits her from contacting the minor that's involved in this case.
We're good. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
all of them are just one. I know you just mentioned one.
The one that's a minor.
The one that's
Yes.
a minor.
Is it harder to get victims to come forward in a case like this?
We're not going to talk about generalities at this point, folks. We're only going to talk about what happened today, as I said. All right? Any other questions regarding today's hearing? Do you feel you have strong
order
evidence?
just for that one minor, correct? The other?
That is correct.
Okay. And the protective order basically says what?
There's no contact between the 2 parties, either by telephone, email, in person, or through third parties. No contact is no contact at all.
Do you feel you have strong evidence in this case?
No.
It's an ongoing investigation, so we are still discovering what other evidence is out there.
What happened today?
Just a simple arraignment, not much to see today and not much to comment about today.
Your client pleaded not guilty?
Correct.
Have you been able to see any of the evidence? Have you been able to come up with anything in terms of how you're going to handle this case? Do you believe your client is innocent?
I just got the police reports. They're not real thick, but I haven't read them yet. I see that the charges go way back to 2007, so I really, it wouldn't be wise, probably not even ethical for me to comment any beyond that.
And the protective order, how do you feel about that?
Well, it's typical. If you've got a young victim, they always issue protective order, so it doesn't matter how I feel about it, it's standard.
Can you describe her state of mind?
Well, she's a clean-cut American girl sitting in jail, so she's having a hard time, but she'll be okay.
Can you tell us where the child is right now?
No, that's probably not public information. She hadn't given me the authority to go into that.
Do you believe that you could make a case to have her bail lowered? It's $750,000.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty high for this type of case. We may even be able to get her OR, but we'll have to get a positive recommendation from the OR unit. There's probation officers at the jail that interview people, and they will know a lot more than the judge. The judge basically knows nothing about her at this point. So we'll hope to have an OR report by the next time we come in, and maybe it'll even recommend that she be released on her own cognizance.
Can you tell us, do children in cases like this typically go into state protective custody?
No, they're typically with, as long as there's competent family members, they prefer to place them with family, so I would assume that that's what happened.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, folks.
You got a hearing coming up on the 26th.
Yes.
Which will include a bail hearing.
It'll be an OR hearing, and then I may file a bail motion to reduce bail. It depends on what this OR recommendation is.